All right, so here we're doing some more find the percent increases or decreases of sale prices, or and this second one is audience increases. So we have a 70-inch LED smart TV regularly sells for $940. Sale price is $611. Find the percent decrease of the sale price from the regular price. All right, so let's take the larger minus smaller. So when we do that, we're going to take 940 minus 611, and we're going to divide by the original amount, which was 940. And then we're going to multiply that by 100% to get it back into the decimal. And so let's plug that into our calculator. All right, so we're going to have, what was it again? 940 minus 611 divided by 940. And then we're going to convert that to a percent. So multiply by 100. So it's 35%. So this is equal to 35%. All right. So that's a percent what? Well, that's a percent decrease. Okay. Now the second one says, okay, well, we're going to increase. Well, now we're going from 10 up to 12. So again, we have to find how much the difference is going the difference here. So that's going to be 2. And the original value in this case is 10. So we have to divide by 10. So 12 minus 10 is 2. 2 divided by 10 is 0.2 times that. So that's going to be a 20%, and that's going to be an increase. So sometimes we don't need a calculator. Sometimes we do need a calculator to do the problem. So it all depends on the problems we have as far as if we need calculators or not. Okay. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's say it says, suppose you paid $1,200 in taxes. During year 1, taxes decreased by 20%. During year 2, oops, taxes increased by 20%. All right, so does that mean we're going to be paying the same thing at year 2 as we did at year 1? Well, let's find out. So what we have to do is we have to figure out after year 1, we're going to go from 1,200 and we're going to decrease it by 20%. So how much is going to be left over? Remember, if we take 1,200, left over is 80% of that. So if we take that times 0.80, that's going to be what it's going to be after that year 1. So we'll take 1,200 times 0.8. So we'll take 1,200 times 0.8, and we get 960. So that's how much it is after year 1. Now, during year 2, taxes increase again by 20%. All right, well, so they're going to take our price at the end of year 1, and we're going to increase it by 20%. So if we take it times 1.2, remember the whole and how much it is increasing by the 20%, then that will tell us how much it's going to be at the end of year 2. So now we're going to take 960 times 1.2, and we get 1152. All right, so 1152. All right, so that's how much we're going to have to pay at the end of year 2. That's how much taxes we're going to pay. Now, what was the percent increase or decrease from the original taxes? Well, guess what? Original taxes was 1,200. Now it's 1152. So it looks like we've decreased. So if we take 1,200 minus 1152 divided by the original, which is 1,200, now remember to put that in parentheses, multiply that by 100%. Let's see what we get here. So we're going to have 1,200 minus 1152 divided by 1,200, and then multiply it by 100. Otherwise, we just move the decimal place if we wanted to at the end. That's 4%. So 4% decrease. Okay. So this is kind of where that initial thing where it said we're going to investigate some ways percents can be abused. Well, this is how some politicians will say, well, we're going to decrease your taxes by this much, and then we're going to increase them by this much, or something like that. But notice a 20% decrease here was not the same amount as a 20% increase here. So we actually have less taxes at this point in time. So they don't equal 20% both ways. And if you think about it, that's because when we took 20% off of 1200, we got this value, but now we're adding 20% of this value back onto it, and we only get that value. So we're taking the smaller number here, adding it back on. And so that's why there's actually a 4% decrease in that taxes from the original amount. So that's how we can use percent sometimes to be abused. And a lot of times it's the politicians saying, hey, we're going to do this. Usually it's going to be, well, we're only going to increase it this much this year, but we're going to decrease it by this much. And it doesn't always equal the same increase and decrease. And so sometimes we're getting something different than what we're thinking. All right, so that's all I have for this section. Hopefully that helps.